Lads, I've got something that I wanted to bring up here. That this actually wasn't the next thing I was gonna say, but this Liverpool side, they're not the best Premier League side we've seen, in my opinion. I don't think. No. Okay, they're not the best individuals. They're not the best individuals.
I agree.
I think they're the best sides, but they're not the best individuals.
I don't think. Okay, go on.
So my question was, yeah, over the years of this podcast, yeah, you've seen us like not even laugh at, but you know, like when people say stuff like, "Oh, he works hard" and all this kind of stuff, yeah, and we kind of just dismiss it like, "All right, cool." The thing is, I think over the years, you have to acknowledge hard work. Like,
listen, we've said this multiple times. You know, like, do you know what the thing is with this? Yeah, no one here is ever saying that hard work isn't important or it's not a good attribute to have, because like I'm not even trying to like draw players out here, but you've got guys like, and they're a victim of their own kind of like playing style or personality, but you've got guys like Ozil and Berbatov who are like fantastic footballers, but like they don't because they don't look that hard working on the pitch and stuff like that. They have this like negative reputation, whereas like someone like a prime example.
Is that a gaming chair? Yeah, man's on this Warzone thing. Sorry for my apologies.
Yeah, whereas like, for example, you see guys like Coquelin. You see guys like Coquelin who, just because they looked lively and like running about on the pitch, you never really criticise them like that. But the thing is with this is, when you refer to a player, like we can even give you examples. Like when I can name players and I can say, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Like if I say Omri, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Just great footballer. Great footballer.
Like,
the king.
Like Ronaldo.
Machine.
Yeah. Messi.
The best of the time.
Gifted.
You're obviously you're not really like saying the. I was hoping to say stuff like finishing. No,
yeah.
But like I was expecting to hear stuff like finishing, striking ability, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you mention a player like, I'm sorry, Henderson, and the first thing that comes to your mind is hard working, that's not it. That's not it. How is hard working? How's hard? Like, literally, like there's so many.
No, I totally agree with you. I can't lie to you.
No, he's spot on.
He's right, but
that's literally it. That's
no. Okay, hear me out. Yeah. So I've been thinking about this a lot, and when we discuss stuff like who's the best player or who have been the best players and let's take Pogba for example. Yeah, Pogba. We know what Pogba can do. We know what prime Pogba can do. We know what prime Ozil can do. We know, like, if we're looking at the best footballers in the league based on their ability, you got to put guys like Ozil, you got to put guys like Pogba, But it's like, if you're not consistent with that, yeah, can we really put you there? Because consistency matters. And the reason I say this is because,
Of course it does, but it's because
the reason I say this is because, like, when you look at a player like what's my man's name, Ben Arfa, yeah, no one considers Ben Arfa, but if we look at his pure ability, he was on smoke. Do you get what I'm saying? But no one considers him because he wasn't consistent, and consistency. Go on.
And that's perfectly fine, but the thing is, like, something like hard working and consistency, that goes hand in hand with being a top player. It just does. It's something that you shouldn't have to point out, because literally you could say all good players are hard working, but not all hard working. Well, not all hard working players are good. It's just like being hard working. It's just something, and it's just something that's in there. But the first, like, literally, like, I can give you an analogy, yeah, and this is some advice to some of our listeners. When someone calls you cute, do you know that realistically, what does that mean? It means you're not good looking, but you're a nice person. So they don't
Oh my God.
They don't want to draw you up. So that's what they say. Oh yeah, he's cute. Like,
that's how you take it.
That's how that, like, okay.
I don't think that's factual, you know.
That's
but,
not
okay,
factual.
I don't know where that's come from.
That's like, that's accurate most of the time.
That's not factual.
That's okay. We're going into a different thing there. So
you're about to say names, isn't it?
No, I'm not even going to say names, but like for example, what if it actually is okay. For example, someone says to you, yeah, you've like they introduce you to this girl and you see her and she's like you don't find her attractive, you don't think she's good looking, but she's not, and then after they say, oh, so what did you think of her? You like, you don't say, oh, she's ugly, or you just say, oh yeah, she's a nice girl, she's cool, this is that, but no.
Yeah.
It's
So
just like,
so
but then
how have you got from cute to that?
That's it's the same thing. Oh yeah, it's not. Oh yeah, she's cute. Oh, she's a nice girl. Like, but it's not that. Like, oh, she's cute. It's just like that, isn't it?
Can we get back to football, mate?
Yeah, getting back to football. Literally, like it's not like Ade, you've like you said it perfectly one time. You don't praise a fish for swimming. Like hard work, being hardworking is not something. Obviously, you acknowledge it. You say, oh, he's a hardworking, but it's not something that you should be like, oh yeah, he's hardworking. It's not. It's not the first thing you talk about.
Is this fair to say? Henderson has been one of the best performers in the Premier League this season. Is that a fair statement?
No, he's been a consistent performer.
I don't think he has been. I don't think he's been one of the best performers, but he's been great within his team. He's been a great part of it. He's a captain. He stepped up in terms of production, and I think that's what people have seen, because there was a period within, I think, December, January times where he was scoring, assisting. His form was good, and then all of a sudden he's PFA Player of the Year. No, I'm sorry, he's not been.
That nonsense.
If you want to say, if you want to bring up his leadership things, that's fine. But then again, even do you know what? I'm sorry, you shouldn't be bringing up intangibles as the first thing you talk about when you mention a top player. Do
you know what's made me respect stuff like that more? Yeah, when you've got a guy like Arsene Wenger saying, because who did they lose to in it was Atletico, innit? It was Atletico.
Who talking?
Was it not Atletico in the Champions League? They went out to you.
When?
Yeah.
Liverpool. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got guys like Arsene Wenger who I respect his footballing opinion so much. Yeah, he's come out and he says something like, "What's the first thing you would have done? I would have put Jordan Henderson in that team. He's the heart and soul of Liverpool." Like, I know that's not speaking on his technical ability, but we can't overlook the importance that a player like that has.
No, I don't overlook it.
No one's overlooking it. It's just, at the moment, it seems like I'm just saying the same thing. But like even great players who, like someone like Puyol or Roy Keane, or maybe not as much Roy Keane, but I feel like maybe he's a bit underrated. But Patrick Vieira, guys like Chiellini, like I can mention like Sergio Ramos, like all these players who are like great leaders and stuff like that. You don't, and they're hardworking. You don't put that as the first. You say, oh, he's a great defender. Oh, he can tackle. He reads the game, and then you say, and you mentioned
that's like the cherry on top. Yeah,
it's the intangibles after. Like you don't.
Guys, I think he's extremely overrated. Extremely. Like, I've never seen that word overrated. You have to put Jordan Henderson there. I feel passionate about this because when people talk about him being PFA Player of the Year, my blood boils, because we're moving like this is the first time we've seen a player of his standard before, and that's what's annoying. Because
I agree with that. To be fair,
what's the difference between him? What's the difference between him and Fernandinho, for example, who for me is one of the best players for Man City, who's also been very reliable in their title wins? You don't get the praise like that. You look at Nemanja Matic in 2015 when they won the league in 2015. He was instrumental with Kante. You don't talk about Nemanja Matic like that. Jordan Henderson, because he plays for he's English and all this, we're trying to stop that noise. He's been very good, don't get me wrong. He's been very instrumental. I agree. They've definitely needed him. But not PFA Player of the Year, bro. PFA.
No, I agree with you.
He's not been the best player he's not been the best player in the league.
It's disrespectful to guys that
KDB's about doing madnesses.
KDB, Mane.
Mane.
You overlook Mane and give it to Henderson. What are you saying?
That's true. Even Van Dijk's been better than Henderson, really, on performance.
Trent.
Yeah, Trent's been better than Henderson.
Trent will get young player, that's why.
Okay, all right.
It's true. No, that's true. It's true.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
It's not a thing for me. It's not a thing for me. He shouldn't be getting these accolades because it's not like what I'm seeing from him is the first time. I've seen this from players before, and they never got that same noise. They never got that noise.
It's standard, man.
Do you know what I mean? You're a midfielder. Work hard in that midfield and just do your job and keep it stepping, man.
No, I hear that. So you lot aren't
if you want to
hearing...
be PFA Player of the Year, start doing some 40-yarders or keep it stepping.
You lot aren't hearing the intangibles, the hard work, all of that. Like you're not hearing it. You're dismissing it, but it shouldn't come up. when we're talking technical ability, basically. Like
It can't, but not. It shouldn't be the first things you're mentioning when you're talking about how good a player is.
Do you know what another thing is? Yeah, when we talk about Messi versus Ronaldo, yeah, and I'm sorry to take it there, but a lot of that argument is the mentality. For example, the other day we're all discussing mentality, right?
Yeah.
We can't ignore Ronaldo's mentality. We can't
100%.
ignore that.
100%.
We can't ignore that.
The difference with that, Ade, is because when something's so tight,
you need to bring in other things. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
True.
That's the difference with Ronaldo and Messi, because they're both great. So there's other variables now that we have to look at, and that's when we start talking about mentality.
Let me ask you a question here. So it's kind of all over the place at the moment. Kevin De Bruyne versus Paul Pogba. What are you guys' take on that? If you had to just answer that, Kevin De Bruyne versus Paul Pogba, who's the best central midfielder in the Premier League?
It's KDB.
Like easily.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Way.
Well,
no way.
It's consistency, isn't it? Like, Paul Pogba's not consistent. I love Pogba. He's one of my favorite players, but he's not consistent. So
I think team he's playing in has a big factor in why we're not seeing a consistent Paul Pogba, because number one, when he was under Mourinho, and you can link this to Rashford as well. We've seen a different Rashford under Ole. Like, we've seen him produce better performances.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since Pogba was playing under Ole, we saw a better Pogba as well. Pogba got injured now, and we've not really seen Pogba again come back into Manchester United, being able to play with the freedom that they've been able to play with. He's got a better centre mid partner with Bruno Fernandes. I believe we're going to see a much better Paul Pogba. So I think there's variables when we're comparing KDB and Pogba, because KDB is playing in a fully functioning, well-rounded team. And I feel like Man United kept having bits and pieces that were missing. And a lot was put on Pogba to do everything. Oh, he had to defend, he had to tackle, he had to assist, he had to score.
What do you say to instances where Pogba's just giving the ball away? Or being dispossessed on the half?
Yeah. And I think that comes as a point where he feels like he has to do so much because no one else is on his level. So he's causing him to do stuff that are not necessary. KDB doesn't have to do that.
But there's times where Pogba does silly things. Yeah, he does silly things.
He'll do a step over or a drop a shot. No one's there
for no reason. He'll start dropping.
I definitely see where you guys are coming from, but the way I see it, and it's a valid point actually where you're talking about all of that, but I don't think it's hard. It's so hard to compare them to say who's better because of the teams that they're playing in. But I cannot dispute who's been putting in better performances and who looks the better player. But Pogba's ability, bro.
I don't feel comfortable saying that KDB's better than Pogba.
Sorry?
Again?
So you wouldn't say KDB's better than Pogba?
I objected when you said when Addy said easily, and you said yeah. That's where I came in, because I don't think it's easy. But I do think you having that opinion is fair because KDB's doing it and Pogba's not right now. But I wouldn't say easily.
Yeah, that's what I've got to go by. I prefer Pogba, but I've got to keep it real.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think two things can be true in this, and I think that's the case with this. Like, the team is a big factor in Pogba's performance, but at the same time, he doesn't. Not even that he doesn't help himself, but he still, even though he's in that team, he could still play to a level, because you do see players in lesser sides, more dysfunctional teams still perform to a level.
Sorry if to cut you. Pogba is extremely scrutinised. He plays to a good level. Because when you look at the season, I can't remember what season it was, but he was their top assister, their top goal scorer. He was doing everything he possibly could.
No, it was the season before last, I think.
Like, of course, there was
last season.
Yeah,
he scored 7 goals from out of play, 6 goals, 6 penalties. But still, he was their top goal scorer, top assister. I know there was performances that season where he wasn't playing well and he was giving the ball away and stuff, but ultimately, he was their best player. And they gave the Player of the Year to Luke Shaw, which I couldn't understand. But anyway, ultimately, he was their best player.
I think he was, but it's also when you consider the level he can play at. Because, like, for when you play, obviously, like, and it just shows that when he plays for France and he's in a lot more balanced and a more functional team, he's absolutely amazing. And then
it's strange though. It's strange though.
Sorry, Adi, but the thing is, you can even I don't even think it's strange, because then you can even look at it when KDB plays for Belgium, which isn't as functional as City. Obviously, it's not like he doesn't play well, but it's not entirely the same. So, like, you can, like, that stuff like that does play a factor.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just not one of Sorry, I just want to say,
KDB.
I'm just not one of them guys that, like, there's certain people that I know that just make it seem like KDB clear, and it's like, I'm like, are you sure? Because let's not move like we haven't seen what Pogba's done. Like Pogba gets extremely scrutinized, but he's got accolades, number one, and he's performed in big games as well. He's a top player. I've seen him at his peak. So let's not move like it's just easy. I think, just to reiterate what Ife's saying, the team, the manager, all of that stuff, the environment he was playing in at the time, it all contributes. But I can understand why Steve said KDB, because right now that's what we're seeing. Until Paul Pogba changes our mind, we're gonna have to say KDB.
Okay.